going on, everybody? This is your girl K Rich, and y'all know I'm coming from a PK perspective. So first of all, I'm looking a hot mess today. I just am not feeling my whole face today. But I was sitting here talking to y'all, and I was just going over some things and some I have my seatbelt on, Saints, and some things that we've been going over in my church Bible studies, and some things that I've been doing some research on and different things. And like, man, we have to really find a way to be as transparent with ourselves as possible. Like, I was thinking, just talking to God about some different stuff, like help me not be a hater. Help me not be a hater, because, and I'm not naturally a hater, but there can come, and there comes to everyone, points and times where that hater, that inner sinful, that inner born in iniquity, shaped in sin, born in iniquity hater tries to come to the surface. And I was just like, well, where can I kind of find something biblically to help me out? I was like, God, don't let me, I'm happy for people I don't know. I'm happy for people who you just hear a story, or I heard this, like, oh, I'm so happy. I'll be happy. I'll cry for somebody I don't know, or this story was so sad, I'm just gonna cry for that person. So where is this little, I don't even know what it is coming from. So I'm like, God, like, help me out, because I don't want to be a hater. Nobody want to be a hater. Hating don't look good on me. Don't look good on you either. And I was reminded in my spirit about the man with the vineyard. He had the field, and he was hiring workers. And I've never looked at it in this aspect, but we do this. He's hiring workers to come work. So, people come, they was ready to work. They came ready to work early in the morning. Wow, I know he was going to have some work for me to do. I got up, I got my lunch, packed my lunch. I got all my work stuff ready. I was like, I need this money. I'm finna go to work. So they're out there, and they working all day long. This brother has been working on the harvest since the sun came up. And another young man, or another worker, the master's like, man, we need some more workers. This could go faster if we had more hands to the plow, no pun intended. And so he's still hiring people to come in and work. So at the end of the day, the master was like, appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody come get your check, come get your little coins. And he hands out the money. And the guy that was there all day looks over as he's handing out the money. Maybe they go in alphabetical order. I'm not even going to say he was looking. Maybe they was going in alphabetical order. His last name was Williams. So he sat there while Adams, Bailey's, Curtis's, all of them got paid. So he like, man, they getting their coins. All right, I'm ready to get mine. And he gets his money, and it's the exact same amount. But he noticed that brother Adams came at 4:30, and they ended work at 6 o'clock. I only been out here an hour and a half, but he got what I worked all day. I got here at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was busting my stuff, and how are we getting the same amount of money? And I think that, how can I say this? I feel like in certain aspects, it's a lot of people that's been faithful. Hear me when I say this. It's a lot of people that's been faithful. I didn't say you was perfect. I said you've been faithful. It's a lot of people that's holding on to promises. It's a lot of people that's holding on to God's unchanging hand. It's a lot of people that's like, man, I've been believing. I've been believing this for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and I'm holding on. I still believe. And in the midst of you holding on and working and laboring for the kingdom, I'm not talking about Sunday only saints. I'm not talking about people that's half stepping. I'm not talking about people that don't want to follow, the commands and just want Jesus to be a hocus pocus, God to be a hocus pocus genie and just give you whatever you want and you can live the life you want. I'm talking about people that's dedicated living holy, on point, doing what they're supposed to do. They working in the church. They're everything that they can be. Not sinless, but they're striving for perfection. Because I don't want to say, oh, nobody's perfect. We know this. So there's people that's out there doing all of that. They've been holding it down. They've been holding it together. And then they see people come in, thank God, they're coming into the church, or they're coming into the understanding of who Christ is, and they're coming into the understanding of Yah and all of that. And you're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, it seems like the stuff that you've been holding on fast, faithful to, they just getting pop up. Dang, I sure was praying hard for that. I fasted. I did fast for that. Okay. And then the next thing, I really want to be debt free. I'm out here. I'm grinding. And then that person comes. I've been coming to church for 3 weeks, and God just canceled out my debt. And you like, God, been working and praying on that and fasting for that for about 4 years. Okay. Congratulations. And that can build up a serious discontentment in us. And we don't voice it. We don't confess it one to another. We don't, go to people and say, I've been feeling this in my spirit, because we don't want to be perceived a certain way. That is killing us. I don't want to be perceived a certain way. So I'm going to hold all of this in. I'm not going to confess my faults one to another. I'm not going to, say where I have shortcomings. I'm not going to, I'm just going to hold everything in. And then people sit right there in church, sit right there in it, and suffocate and drown in the just the issues of life. But that is a scenario that I've seen play out, and I've kind of seen the enemy like poking his head up in certain things in my life. And so I was talking to y'all today, and I was like, that's not in me as a person, so it feels foreign. That's something that I would say, if you know that you have the right spirit, you have the mind of Christ, your heart is right, and you feel something, you know that is not you, and you know that it's not God. So call that thing out. God, this thing is popping up, and it's not right. I feel it's not right. I don't feel, this is not me. This is not your spirit. You need to rebuke those things. You need to cast them down. Cast down those thoughts and imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, because the knowledge of God is faithful. The knowledge of God is that the promises of God are yes, and in him, amen, right? So you have to cast down those thoughts of either doubt or even the submission. Now, check this out. Now, take what I'm going to say and understand that I might have to explain it. But the submission to the delay, or the submission and thinking that this is a holy way to think that, oh, maybe, God is sovereign and maybe he just doesn't want me to have this. I've done this. Well, God is sovereign. He knows better than me. And if it's his will, not walking in agreement with what the Lord has said about me, but saying maybe, God is holy. I don't want to say that I know more or I'm higher than God in my thinking. So maybe he's just sovereign and he said, I don't want you to have that. Even though he already said, I'm going to give this to you. These are the promises I'm going to give to you. These are things that I am saying, they're yours. They will come to pass. But now, this doubt, or what does the Bible say? Oh, come on, Lord, bring it back to my remembrance, Holy Spirit. But it says that when a promise is delayed, that the heart grows sick, right? So we're out here, we're not brokenhearted, we're sick-hearted. Because we're in the process of the delay. And some of that delay, it's not a punishment. Some of that delay it could be that you have to be perfected in the area. Could be. I'm not saying that it is. Could be that you have to be perfected in the area before it happens. It could just be because let me use something. Come on. Give me something. Give me an illustration. Aha. Let's use being single, a single woman. I'm not talking about men right now, because they don't talk to y'all like they talk about and talk to us. A single woman in the church. This is something that I really push away from singles ministries and all of that because of this. That, well, because you're single, You have stuff you got to still, you're not ready. You haven't worked on you enough to be worthy yet for God to send you a spouse. But everybody that's already married and booed up got all issues. Everybody that is people that's sinful, married, wonderful marriages, ain't nobody more saved than the man in the moon. So I can't sit and say that the only reason that somebody is single is because, oh, you guys just ain't, you ain't developed yet. Like, it could be that it's just not that time. If a harvest has not come up, it doesn't mean that the seed is bad. It doesn't mean that the soil is bad. It just ain't time for that to be. It's not the season for that. It's not the time for that. And that could be the end of it. It's just not the season for that right now. Could be the end of it. So, I go back from the digression that I just took part in. But understanding that God is sovereign. There is reasonings, but making sure that you're set up and you're ready. And if you're set up and you're good to go, you're aligned with his law, his will. Man, call that thing out. Call that thing out. Walk and speak in agreement with God, and don't let that mini haterade, that mini haterism, that's deep down inside of everybody. Sometimes only surfaces. On rare occasions or at points when it's just dire, we're in dire straits, and that little hater comes up like, hey man, how you ain't got that dog? When you out here last week fasting and bowing yourself before the Lord, they just walked in church on Tuesday and they got everything you asked for. Don't let him come up. Don't let that come up. Don't let that come up inside of you and cause you to in some way forfeit or further delay, because now you have something else you have to deal with before you can get that you're praying for, that you're fasting for, that is already promised to you. So this is just some real talk. Like, I had to say, okay, God, I'm not trying to be out here even thinking like this, because it's not a thought that's in line with my character or a thought that's in line with your character. So that's just something I want to drop out there. Don't let the micro mini hater that's boop, 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 he's deep down in there. It's deep down in there. And sometimes you're going to look and be like, I know I shall pray for that. And then that's when he's going to try to pop up. Don't let him do it. All right? I want y'all to confess the good things, not the bad things. I want y'all to speak positively. All right? I love y'all. Go be great. Peace.